Picture, here it is.
Back. As well. Of course, it's a very, very exciting phase. And what makes me happier is that we're actually going to be talking about my favorite subject, which is, of course, having a baby and my personal life rather than my movies.
Wait.
Thank you everyone to be up here and be not talking movies and everything else that you do, but talk about a very, very special phase in your life, which is motherhood.
Special indeed. Very
Yes,
special.
sir.
And I'm so happy to share my journey with all my co-moms here. I'm sure we've all had very similar experiences, but let's talk about it. Let's have fun today.
Right. How did you determine that you were ready for motherhood? Did you ever think things would change, especially with work? Like we saw the last film where the lady was worried that would she be able to manage, and I think that's one fear that constantly bothers each one of us. Though I must say a huge round of applause for so many women who have come in from different cities. I know you all have taken a 5:45 a.m. flight to get here, left home at 1:30 this morning to be here, and they're doing their jobs like a thorough professional. So really hats off. I think, but would love to know, did
That's
you
what women are all about.
Absolutely.
You go, girl. That's what it's all about. We have to really go out there and do what we believe in. And of course, we have babies who we love very much, but work is work. And we prioritize work and we prioritize ourselves. And that's extremely important. For me, yes, of course, I was worried. How did I know whether I was ready for motherhood? Well, I think I was ready for motherhood when I had my nephew, my sister's baby, my first child, and 7 years ago, I just knew that I wanted this, and I wanted him in my life, and I wanted a little him in my life as well, and I think I was ready for motherhood even before I was ready for marriage.
That's so sweet. That's all Masis, right?
Yes.
That's all of us.
Fully.
Tell me, what kind of questions did you have before pregnancy? Like when you visited a gynac, did you have like a plethora of questions that you would write like every trimester that, okay, how does this happen? How does this happen? How does this happen?
Of course, I had a lot of concerns. My pregnancy wasn't a very comfortable pregnancy. I had a lot of nausea, and that bothered me, and I was working. So it was a bit of a discomfort. Not a bit, actually, it was very uncomfortable. But my husband and I used to make notes, and we used to discuss all sorts of symptoms and all sorts of things, and we used to go to our gynac and be like, okay, now tell us what is it going to be like. Now what is the 4th month going to be like, because there's this new symptom that I've developed. Oh, now my feet are swelling, so what am I supposed to do? We had all sorts of questions. I was working through it, and just when we discovered that we were pregnant, I had signed a massive action film.
Sir.
I did not know that I was blessed at that point of time with a baby. So I was scheduled to do the film, and my primary concern was, how on earth am I going to do those action sequences? Actions and stunts are not easy in the line of work that I am in. And I had to, I was still ready for it. My husband was the one who was he was a lot more concerned. I had to basically be in a harness, be on ropes, do these trapeze movements in the sky and then land on like my knees and then give a punch to somebody. So I had all that going on. And my husband then went to the gynac and said, you know what, this is not easy. Are you sure she should be doing this? Of course, the gynac had her reservations, and then eventually I had my reservations as well, and so I had to back out and say no to the film, which I'm very happy about now in hindsight. I prioritized my health, I prioritized my well-being over that particular film, and I think it worked for me. I think in the first trimester, that was, now looking back, it was the right thing to do.
You know, it's amazing how Kajal said this, and I always feel like it all works out for good in the future.
Absolutely.
When you look back, you will have no regrets if you just followed your heart. And I must say that, you know, when I
Followed
asked
your instinct also.
yes, absolutely.
Especially with babies, I think that's what we all develop as moms, right? Like we've all become so innate and in tune with our instincts, and that's what's
a blog, because all the mothers will read it and I will not have to answer those questions, and that actually gave birth to Kids Talk Press. So I'm very happy in hindsight
perfect. Exactly.
that I actually did that.
More power to you.
Thank you. How do you perceive the myriad of emotions that, you know, women often experience, right? I mean, so many of us today, we've left our kids behind, and I completely hate asking the question of work-life balance because I think it's overrated, but we cannot take away from the fact that we are nurturers. Right? So how do you experience those emotions, and what goes through your head while you were pregnant and even now?
You know, it's very interesting that you say that we are nurturers, because I have had this belief ever since. I do feel, even though I'm a working mom and I do experience mom guilt at every single step of my life, so much so that I'm guilty right now, sitting right here, that, oh my God, what's my baby doing behind my back in Hyderabad? But having said that, yes, we are primary caregivers, and I'm extremely proud of the fact that we are primary caregivers. I'm extremely proud of the fact that we are nurturers, and we always will be that number one figure in our child's life. I do not believe in this entire concept of course, fathers are extremely important, but I do not believe in this misconstrued fact where only the fathers are supposed to do anything. You know, like, okay, I've done my bit, I've given birth to the child, now it's your job to take care of the child. No, I don't think that's the way it is, because in a child's life, from a child's perspective, the mother is of primary importance. I'm extremely happy that we are, as women, being able to strike that balance, but I'm also extremely happy about the fact that, you know, there are a lot of moms out there who choose their babies over their jobs. And I think that's fabulous. If you have the luxury to do that, it is phenomenal, and hats off to you for being able to make that choice. Now coming to your questions, which I have forgotten. What did you ask me?
I said the myriad emotions, but I think you answered that in many different
emotions. Yes. So I went through an entire plethora of emotions. I still do on a regular basis. I remember when I just resumed work, I was 3 months postpartum. And it was very early on for me to jump back into the bandwagon. I used to literally cry every morning when I had to leave my 3-month-old baby. I used to call up my sister, or I used to call up my husband, and I used to cry. And I used to be like, oh my God, I don't know why I'm doing this. Is this the right thing for me to do? Is this going to affect my child in any way? Will I not have a bond with my child? I went through an entire gamut of emotions. And only to realize that it's okay. You know, it's okay to leave my child for brief periods of time. And I still am extremely communicative. I still tell him that, hey, listen, now of course he's at an age where he understands. But right from day one, I used to tell him, hey, mama has to go to work. Mama's going to be back. And there was this very special thing that I tell my child till date. And now he kind of relates to it because he's heard it since the day he was born, which is that there's a string attached from my heart to your heart. So if you miss me, pull the string and I'll do the same.
That is so sweet. That is really so sweet. Debbie, how did you confirm the pregnancy? Like, did you take multiple test? Were you nervous? Who did you share the news with first?
To be honest, I did not take multiple tests because there was really no need. I genuinely, and this is not a sales pitch, guys, I genuinely used Prega News. I wasn't even endorsing the brand back then. And I was pretty sure because it's a very accurate test. And of course, we were excited, we were nervous. It was that was overwhelming. Not the media, not the number of people I meet, but that point in my life was very overwhelming. I was at my mom's place at that point of time, and my husband came back from work, and I called him up and I said, hey, listen, I have this feeling, you know, I've skipped my period, I have this feeling, I'm at mom's, why don't you go to the chemist, buy the Prega News test kit for me and come back home. He got 2. And he ran back, and the 2 of us were in the bathroom testing it. My parents were impatiently waiting outside. We come back, and I come back crying. Yeah, I know, I've cried at several occasions.
How many of
At
us?
every step of the way I've cried, guys. But I came out crying. And of course, there were tears of joy, and there were tears of feeling very emotional. And that's when we knew. And the first people to share the news was with our parents, with my parents.
That's amazing. I think that moment is just one moment that you'll probably never just forget.
Oh yeah, of course. And there's a little story that I'd like to share here. We broke it to my in-laws in a very cute way.
Tell us about that.
So we told my in-laws, I actually wrote a letter from their future grandchild to them. And we have this tradition where we go to their place for Sunday lunch, and the entire family gathers there, my sister-in-law, my parent-in-laws, and we gave them the letter and we said that, hey, we met your friend and he asked us to give this to you. So my in-laws were surprised. They were like, okay, which friend did you guys meet, and you know, how, where, etc. We were like, oh, we'll share the details later, but first read the letter. So they opened the letter and they started crying as well. Obviously, that's not a surprise. And we wrote in the letter that, hey, Dadu, Dadi, I'm coming soon, and I can't wait to meet you guys. And this is the date of my arrival, the tentative date of my arrival.
This is, I haven't heard this one before. I haven't heard anybody announce their pregnancy so personally.
It was really
especially
cute.
with-
They were very
with
touched.
grandparents. It was such, and good old handwritten letters is
Yes.
obviously the sweetest. Tell me, you know, when you spoke of, you just knew that you were pregnant and you had this feeling. Did you use an ovulation kit as well to know, okay, what are those dates? When should we plan?
You know, I am really happy that Prega News has launched this new ovulation kit, because when I got pregnant, I wasn't aware of the kit. I was monitoring my ovulation through an app. And of course, I was being very vigilant about my dates and being very vigilant about has my period come on the exact day that it's supposed to? Am I one day late? What could this mean? What could my delay of the period mean? Do I have PCOD? I did have PCOD as a teenager, but I was like, okay, could that be an interference? Could that be a hindrance till date? My lifestyle is too busy to be true. Will stress be a factor? So I had all these things in my mind. Of course, we conceived when we were on a holiday, which is like the best way to conceive because there's zero stress involved. So yes, I used an app, but I'm very happy that there's a kit now which can actually help you with something like that.
Amazing. Tell me, when you just mentioned about, you know, you have stressful work hours, life is chaotic, it's not very scheduled. How do you make sure that post the child, and of course through every phase, you're maintaining health for yourself and you're prioritizing yourself as well?
I think that's quite a necessity, don't you think? After
Absolutely.
becoming mums, we have to ensure that we are healthy for the sake of our child.
Yeah.
That becomes a priority very automatically. I have been extremely health conscious from day one, like ever since I can remember. I guess it also is because of the kind of job that I do, but it is a priority for me ever since. And after having Neil, I gravitated towards wellness, health, peace, choosing joy, choosing the most important thing, which is the ability to say no. Choosing all of these things became extremely important for me. And I think that the one thing that really helped me to maintain my immunity, maintain my strength, maintain my well-being was a dose of supplements, regular supplementation. I am a vegetarian. I do not get all the required essentials through my daily diet. Even though I went to a nutritionist and consulted the best, I still felt that there was something lacking. Supplementation filled that gap in for me.
Right, absolutely. Tell me, as you know, when we're nurturing children, we often forget that our body is going through a lot of transformation, and it's so important to embrace ourselves at every stage of that life, in whatever form and shape we are. Was that hard for you, and how did you navigate that emotion?
It was a learning, indeed. Like I said, I went through a lot of ups and downs, pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, after birth. I had this overwhelming surge of emotions where I would get really angry for no reason. I would get really irritable for no reason. I would also feel very overwhelmed with love, where I had this entire nesting phase during my pregnancy. I'm not a animal person, but the first baby that I had was my little puppy. So I would feel extremely motherly towards my puppy, and I would canoodle her and cuddle her and shower her with all my love. So basically I had these ups and downs, which was not easy to navigate, but I guess it's a journey that we all have to learn. And you can only navigate through this journey is through experience.
Yeah. Absolutely. And tell me another moment that I think is very well etched for every single woman out there is labor and childbirth. Tell us about that moment. How was it?
It was very special. And my labor was an adventure, but thankfully, touch wood, my baby was a breeze. And eventually seeing my baby's face, having him on my chest, of course, as we all know, is an indescribable feeling. So for me, it was the same. And it was just the actual sense, the ultimate peak of self-realization that people actually talk about. Again, experiential, difficult to describe, cannot put it in words, but the best feeling ever.
Right. Did, we often forget the pain, but some of the marks stay. Did the marks bother you?
No. I wear my marks with great pride and aplomb.
And each one of us should, guys. Each one of us. Okay, you've got back.
Please remember that they're marks of a warrior.
Yes. You've got back very, very quickly. I know your profession demands you getting back into shape very quickly. Is there a special routine that you follow? How do you make sure that you are in the best version of yourself?
It's definitely a professional requirement, but it's also my mindset. I chose to get back to work pretty early on for whatever reasons I had. I had professional commitments which I had to honor. If I could, now in hindsight, I would have definitely taken a longer maternity break. There's no specific routine. I eat healthy, I prioritize sleep as and when I can. Of course, when your baby is a tiny infant, sleep is very critical, it's harder, it's pretty much not possible. And if you're working along with that, it does not exist. Yeah. But having said that, I chose to, like I said, supplement, eat healthy, work out as and when I could for my mental sanity more than my physical strength. Invest in good health. I think that's the key for all of us, all working mums out there. Create that infrastructure around you as much as possible. If you are lucky to have grandparents around, nothing like it. But I feel a lot of our parents are growing older with us as well. So it's not very easy, and hence we need to invest in good, trustworthy help.